All of the things we're taking, 'cause we are young and we're ashamed, sends us to perfect places.
Oh God, damn, you made me feel sweet. And if I'm losing my mind, would you lose yours with me? You make me wanna melt like butter in the pan. It's hard to keep my cool knowing I'm your man, so let's spend some time wasting it away. Your love is like music, you went and changed the game. We're breaking all the rules.
Please no one comment on Stephen's lack of tail feathers. He's very self-conscious about it, aren't you, Steve? Yeah, it's a very sensitive topic. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for that content. We love it. Morning, Diggs. Hello.
You went and changed the game. We're breaking all the rules.
Hi guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm just heading off to uni now and I'm running late, so that's really fun. I will talk to you when I get there. This angle is horrible.
Signs don't match. Immigration issues trying to prove I'm with you. I'm gonna miss you. We'll hate to see you go. Wish time could just go slow. Would truly dim my heart, but it's only time apart.
You hear that? We must be getting close. Hold on.
In no time, we gon' be right back. Right by my side, like a monkey on my back. It's been a ride, and we know we're near done. I guess you need the lows to know when you're up.
Hi, it's actually 2 months later since those last clips. I could have added in some riding clips of really aesthetic rides, some really artsy shots and all that, but it would kind of just be a big lie if I did that. And this isn't meant to be like a fully serious like video. I just want to chat, so here we are. So let's talk about mental health. So recently my channel's grown quite a lot and I'm super grateful for all of that love and support that you guys have given me. But for those of you who don't know much about me, I'm in my 3rd year at university and I'm studying psychology. So you could say I'm very passionate about the brain. A little disclaimer before I jump into what I'm about to say. I just want to make a point that I am not trying to pose as a psychologist or anyone of that qualification. These are just my personal opinions, and also my opinions based upon my knowledge of psychology, which I have gained through tertiary education. Before you all click off, I just want to address some of the stigma. When I say mental health, or when anyone says mental health, we're not just talking about mental illness. There's so much stigma in society about mental illness, which is just ridiculous and it makes me angry. But today, when I say mental health, I mean the spectrum of health. And yeah, it does include mental illness, but there's also another side of mental health which includes just how you doing. you know? Just the word like mental health has a lot of negative connotations attached to it. So I just want everyone to think about your brain's health. So here's the thing. Honestly, I think riding, although there's such a huge physical component of the sport, there's also another element to the sport, and that is the psychological strength that you need to have as a rider. And just like any sport, mental health does impact on your performance, your enjoyment, all of that kind of stuff. The equestrian side of YouTube is great. I love it. It's great for inspiring yourself and finding motivation when you are lacking it. However, there's also a wee downside to that, in the sense that we can get trapped into thinking that everyone else's life looks like that 24/7. And there are some amazing equestrian YouTubers who are addressing that side of it and bringing reality back into their content, which I'm all for. So why am I talking about mental health when this video is a day in my life? As a rider and as a human being, there are things that I struggle with, especially in this sport. And recently I have been struggling a lot with motivation. Opening up and saying that you're not as motivated or not feeling as confident, I'm not feeling as confident, or letting your fears and anxieties take over is something that you shouldn't be ashamed of. And if those things are becoming something that's holding you back, they're not going to get better if you don't address them. There's so much of the sport that does have a lot of psychological aspects to it, like our life does. There are days when I'm not as motivated, or a lot of the time I'm not as confident as I should be, just because I have self-doubt and I don't believe in myself, or I don't believe in my ability as a rider, and I just listen to that negative voice that's like, oh, you suck, or you can't post that, it doesn't look good enough, etc. Just gonna let the lawnmower go past. The reason why I want to talk about this is because some of the contributing factors to my lack of motivation, obviously we're complex human beings and there are a lot of different reasons we feel the way we do, but one of the reasons why I am lacking motivation or not feeling as confident and not believing in myself is because I put a lot of pressure on myself, expecting myself to be perfect in everything I do and for me to be doing it perfectly the first time. I get caught up a lot in my own like thoughts and self-doubt and all of that. I really appreciate it if Dad didn't just mow past my window when I'm trying to film. But when I look at it at a deeper level, I find that a lot of it is expectations that I've put on myself, which social media has contributed to. But I just want to make a point that it's not the one aspect that's caused all of it. Obviously, you know, we're complex human beings. There are a whole different contributing factors to how we feel and why we feel the way we feel. But one of those is the fact that social media does have a big influence in my life. And if I'm being realistic with how my day looks, there are a lot of times where I struggle with motivation and confidence. I also just want to say that my lack of motivation and my lack of confidence is nothing to do with Splash. It's all based on, obviously with being an equestrian, I have equestrian friends, and a lot of us have felt the struggles and the mental strains of being an equestrian because it's so competitive and such a mentally consuming sport. But in terms of making that a part of our equestrian community, people seem to be scared of saying those things because they don't want people to think that they're weak or not as passionate as they should be or not as committed as they should be. But feeling any of those things doesn't make you any less of a rider. So one aspect of why I wanted to talk about this was just to talk about it, start a conversation. If you have felt any of these things or different things, let me know. I'd love to talk. So with all this being said, it's great that I've said it. Cool. It's great that anyone said it. But if there's something that you're struggling with, it's only going to get better if you address it. So I have a little plan in my brain of how I'm going to approach the situation and how I'm going to try and overcome it. So basically, I've realized that I've just put way too many unrealistic expectations on myself, and I need to stop, relax, and remember why I'm actually doing this, because the sport is not just about competing. My goal is to try and put the fun back into the sport, because I'd let myself be consumed by the competitiveness, become a bit mentally drained from it. So I'm going to try and use the winter or these next few months to try and get myself back into the groove of the sport, and hopefully I'll be able to show the progress that I've made. And with this concept or idea, like, it's not original in terms of psychology. Addressing an issue isn't original, but I kind of just want to share the process. And please let me know if that is something that you want to see, because I'd love to do a video or a series on the psychology behind riding, like how to move up a grade in terms of how to believe in yourself enough and feel confident enough in yourself to make that step forward, or how to believe in your riding ability, or how to get through fears or get over fears, or how to manage your nerves before a show. Because people say to just ride through it. If you don't have the tools to manage the things that you're struggling with, or you don't have someone to turn to that can help you get through them, because I just feel that that kind of stuff isn't talked about much, and it's something that everyone is going to face in their riding career. And that's the thing, a lot of people experience it, but online not many people seem to talk about it, and I think we should just start talking about it. I feel like it would be a much happier place if we were just kind of like realistic and be like, oh yeah, they had a shit day. That was a bit of a ramble, and I'm sorry for that. But please, if any of what I said is something that you can relate to or you want a video on, please let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. Even if it's something that you don't want to hear, please let me know, because I don't want to make content that you don't want to watch, and I don't really want to shove anything down your throat if you're not interested in it. So let me know. I'm not gonna be offended. That was a day in my life. There are ups and downs. If you have ups and downs too, welcome to the club. But life is just easier if you have people around you that understand what you're going through. And yeah, never be afraid to say what you need to say. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a mess, let's be honest. I'll have all my details linked down below. I hope you all have a really good week, and I will see you in the next one very soon.
All the nights being off our faces, trying to find the